नमस्कार दोस्तों, वेलकम टू लाइफ एक्सप्रेस वेयर देयर इज नो ड्रामा, नो फेक, ओनली फैक्ट्स टू कीप यू अवेक। जी हाँ, सही सुना आपने। लाइफ एक्सप्रेस एक ऐसी दुनिया है, एक ऐसा एकेडमिक प्लेटफॉर्म है जहाँ हम बेमतलब की बातें नहीं करते, क्योंकि यहाँ बातें होती है सिर्फ रियल लाइफ के, रियल लोगों के, रियल अचीवमेंट्स की, और बातें होती है रियल नॉलेज की अंडर भारतीय ज्ञान परंपरा, जिसकी बुनियाद वसुधैव कुटुंबकम पर आधारित है। वसुधैव कुटुंबकम यानी द होल वर्ल्ड इज आवर फैमिली। भले ही वसुधैव कुटुंबकम और अतिथि देवो भव का पालन करते करते हिंदुस्तान को भारी नुकसान उठाना पड़ा, लेकिन आज हर भारतीय को ये कहते हुए काफ़ी गर्व होता है कि भारत एक ऐसा देश है जिसने आज तक ना ही किसी पे आक्रमण किया और ना ही किसी पे राज किया। हाँ, हमने पूरी दुनिया पे राज किया, लेकिन उनके अधिकार, अस्तित्व एवं संस्कृति को छीन कर नहीं, बल्कि उनके दिलों पर राज किया, अपनी प्राचीन सभ्यता एवं संस्कृति और फिलॉसफी की खुशबू बिखेर कर। इसी भारतीय परंपरा को आगे बढ़ाते हुए लाइफ एक्सप्रेस अपने मिशन पे आप सभी के सहयोग से आगे बढ़ रही है, जिसमें मेरा यही प्रयास है कि भारतीय संस्कृति एवं ज्ञान प्रणाली का समुचित अध्ययन कर उसके भाव को, उसमें निहित संदेश को आपके सामने, वर्ल्ड सोसाइटी के सामने प्रस्तुत करूं, क्योंकि आज पूरी दुनिया में एक नहीं कई कारणों से अनेक प्रकार के संकट के बादल मंडरा रहे हैं, खूनी युद्ध चल रहे हैं, परिवार में, समाज में, राष्ट्र में और पूरे विश्व में। पूरी दुनिया आज एक सोसाइटल मॉडल ऑफ लिविंग ढूंढ रही है, जिसे अपनाकर वो शांति और सौहार्द के साथ जी सके। लेकिन अफसोस, दुनिया के पास ऐसा कोई मॉडल नहीं है। लेकिन चिंता की कोई बात नहीं है, क्योंकि भारत के पास ऐसा सोसाइटल मॉडल ऑफ लिविंग है जिसे अपनाकर हम पूरे विश्व में शांति और उन्नति का मार्ग प्रशस्त कर सकते हैं। और उसी मॉडल को हम आज भारतीय ज्ञान परंपरा के रूप में देख रहे हैं। तो चलते हैं कार्यक्रम के अगले सेगमेंट हॉल ऑफ फेम की ओर, जहां हम मिलेंगे एक ऐसी शख्सियत से जो वाकई समाज के लिए एक रियल रोल मॉडल हैं, अपने उत्कृष्ट एवं सराहनीय कार्यों के चलते। लेकिन हम में से अधिकांश लोग उनकी उपलब्धि या अचीवमेंट से आज भी बेखबर हैं। नमस्कार दोस्तों, आज के हॉल ऑफ फेम में हमारे साथ एक बहुत ही खास मेहमान हैं, जिनके जीवन से जुड़े कई रोचक तथ्य हैं। इससे पहले कि हम उन रोचक तथ्यों को जानें उन्हीं की जुबानी, मैं चाहूँगा कि सबसे पहले मैं आपको अपने विशेष अतिथि का एक संक्षिप्त परिचय दे दूं। वैसे तो हमारे आज के विशेष अतिथि किसी परिचय या पहचान के मोहताज नहीं हैं, लेकिन औपचारिकता का निर्वहन करते हुए मुझे ये बताते हुए अपार हर्ष की अनुभूति हो रही है कि लाइफ एक्सप्रेस के इस हफ्ते के हॉल ऑफ फेम में हमारे साथ जो विशेष अतिथि हमारे मध्य उपस्थित हैं, वे हैं नासा के सुप्रसिद्ध साइंटिस्ट और हमारे परम आदरणीय डॉक्टर कुमार कृष्ण। डॉक्टर कुमार कृष्ण जी का जन्म चंद्रपुरा, श्रीनगर, कश्मीर के एक शिक्षित परिवार में हुआ था। बचपन से ही अपनी विलक्षण प्रतिभा एवं उत्कृष्ट कार्यों के बदौलत उन्होंने समाज में अपनी एक अलग पहचान बना ली थी। यदि हम उनके शैक्षणिक जीवन पर प्रकाश डालें तो हम पाते हैं कि उन्होंने अपनी प्रारंभिक, माध्यमिक तथा उच्च शिक्षा अव्वल दर्जे से सफलतापूर्वक पूरी की। More importantly, he received his doctorate degree from Kansas State University, USA. Even today, at this age, he is serving different premier institutions of high repute across the globe. He holds the appointment of adjunct professor at the University of Houston, USA. Dr. Krishen taught and guided research at Kansas State University before joining Lockheed in 1969 as staff scientist. Dr. Krishen was with NASA from February 1976 to September 2018 and held several key positions in advanced programs in Earth observations, science payloads, experiment systems, tracking and communications, mission support, new initiatives, exploration integration, and science and technology research and development. Dr. Krishen has served as Chief Technologist for Johnson Space Center, JSC, and represented JSC as the Principal Technologist on the NASA Council on Science and Technology. Dr. Krishen served at Virginia Tech as University Fellow for Technology Transfer, Office of Special Initiatives, and visiting professor on a special NASA assignment. He has also served as adjunct professor at Rice University, authoring more than 170 technical papers, reports, proceedings. Dr. Krishen is a fellow of the Society for Design and Process Science, fellow and distinguished speaker of the Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers, and an associate fellow of the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics. Dr. Krishen is listed in Who is Who in the World, Who is Who in America, Who is Who in Science and Technology, Men of Achievement, Personalities of America, and 2000 Outstanding People of the 20th Century, and was commissioned honorary Texan by Texas Governor Rick Perry in 2001. And I should not forget to add that Dr. Krishen has been felicitated with several prestigious awards and honors at national and international levels by a number of premier academic institutions, industries, and other significant bodies of knowledge for his scientific innovations, inventions, and varied research findings. Due to paucity of time, I cannot let you know all the accolades and achievements to his name. Here I shall articulate some of the prominent ones. Dr. Krishen has been felicitated by NASA with NASA Exceptional Service Medal. Dr. Krishen was nominated by Governor George W. Bush and conferred and confirmed by the State Senate of Texas to the Texas Board of Licensure for Professional Medical Physicists in 1999 and continued to serve on this board under Governor Perry's administration till 2011. Dr. Krishen was awarded Bharat Samman, the highest honor given by the Non-Resident Indian NRI Institute in 2006. The award was presented by His Excellency Sir Michael Arthur KCMG, the British High Commissioner to India. He was awarded Hind Ratan, the highest award given by NRIW Society in 2008. The award was presented by Honorable Sushil Kumar Sindhe, Union Minister for Power, Government of India. His multi-talents and remarkable achievements and contributions to society make him a unique human being. For me, he is not simply a human, rather a superhuman blessed with all types of righteous qualities and human values. And pleasure is solely mine in welcoming one and only the great NASA scientist, Dr. Krishen Kumar. Namaskar, sir.
Namaskar.
We are truly delighted to have you with us in Life Express, and for your gracious presence in Life Express, I, on behalf of my entire team and my intellectual viewers, would like to extend a very warm welcome and sincere gratitude to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Namaskar and thank you. I'm honestly humbled, Dr. Jaha, and I am so humbled that I am speechless because I have heard for the first time so many things about me that totally I want to forget and continue to do my best for humanity. By the way, my mom and dad would be so proud after hearing what you told about me. Thank you again.
Sir, as we know from your rich academic and scientific profile that you have served science fraternity, I think for more than 54 years in different highly responsible positions. तो इतने लंबे अनुभव के बाद how do you look at four things especially? Number one, life. Number two, education. Number three, science. And number four, NASA in particular. So here we would like to know, are the purposes of these four variables being served adequately and appropriately? Over to you, sir.
Now this is a very deep question and you will have to remind me what was number 2, number 3 and number 4 after I am done with number 1, because my answers may run a little bit longer. Life, I think, is worth living. And I think life is worth living if we practice at least two things. One is sadhana, where we discipline ourselves, get great health, get great education, get knowledge, become informed, get even wealth. To me, everything that makes us wanted, needed in the society is what I call achieving sadhana, doing that achievement of being valuable to the society. Then after, and in parallel with that, life to me is serving others. Life to me is being helpful to others. Because in doing so, you are really helping your own self. Mm-hmm. Because if others are healthy, if others are well off, if others can take care of themselves, you are much better off than if others are poor, in poor health, not doing their jobs, being detrimental to the society. So, to me, long and short is, life is worth living, life is worth giving every minute to learning of knowledge, because that is, to me, the most superior wealth, the wealth of knowledge that nobody can steal, take away from you. However, if you share your knowledge with others, that's the greatest sharing that you can do, much more than anything else. In this Bharatvarsh, we have been told that Vidya Dan is the highest Dan.
Right.
So how do you do any Dan if you don't have what you need to give others? So that is my take on life.
I think, sir, sorry to interrupt you, it also reminds me one quote or one statement made by my father. He had said कि इस दुनिया में जितने भी धन है उसको खर्चा करने से कम होता है, लेकिन विद्या धन को तुम जितना खर्चा करोगे उतना बढ़ेगा. So this is
now you know where your wisdom comes from.
Right.
It comes from our parents to start with, and then it comes from world experiences.
So please continue, sir. Yes.
So what was the next? Was on science.
Yeah.
What
after
was the
science,
second?
education.
Science and education.
Yeah. Education, science, and then last NASA. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll go with education. Education is part of learning. Now, I have been emphasizing all my life that education is not reading books. Yes, that's a part of it. You should be able to read science, things like that. You should be able to work out mathematics because somebody is going to shortchange you. You know, आप दुकान में जाओगे, this has happened.
Right.
Not to me, but to some of the people who have helped me in life. That they buy certain things and somebody is adding 25 to 30% more because they know this guy is not able to read and write and figure out mathematics. So, you know, for all those purposes, I think education is worth doing. Worth having languages, worth having some philosophy, worth having mathematics. However, like Einstein says, the real knowledge is in experience. So, I look at some people who are living in the villages who are probably never been to schools as such with formal education. However, they have such an incredible amount of knowledge. So, I made a very long answer to the fact that education is a fusion of life experiences and what you learn from books, literature, these days from YouTube, these days from Google and many other sources like Wikipedia. In our days, it used to be go to library and keep studying. So my take on education, it's a must. It's a must for survival now. We are not living 6,000 years ago. Even then, there were things written, you know, in Sanskrit or something, and if you didn't understand, you would have a hard time remembering the mantras and their beautiful and meaningful effects that these mantras have on our lives. So, next topic, you wanted me to briefly comment on science.
Science.
To me, science has many, many different aspects. But to me, you cannot avoid being a scientist, no matter whether you are educated or not. Why do I say that? Why do I make that profound statement? Because it's the very thing that allows us and makes us to live. We need to know things in order to live. We need to know, for example, don't eat this, eat this. There are mushrooms that will kill a person. They're poison.
Right.
Now I have seen people who are knowledgeable enough to tell you this mushroom is poisonous, this mushroom is not. So when it comes to science, there are no limits. We have to understand the science for our own good health. Right. We need to know what we need to eat, for example, how we can exercise to give good muscle structure or to give strength to our body. So we need to have mental exercises like math or some other thing that makes our thinking to be used, because the more we think, the more, in my opinion, the neurons of the brain, the neural networks of the brain will get trained, and therefore we will see the effect of science in our life.
Excellent.
So now, to conclude, it's much more than that, sir. It is saving the world from disasters. That's to me most important aspect of science. Because this Prithvi, this earth, is full of natural disasters. And I have at least 4 or 5 PowerPoints on what kind of disasters. It could be a typhoon, it could be an earthquake, it could be a tornado, it could be erupting of a volcano. There's so much going on, naturally. Then there are the human activities, such as pollution, global warming, viruses, fires. We have, we are warriors. We are doing wars all over the world. How will we survive this kind of natural and human-made disasters? My answer is science. My answer is technology.
Very nice. And slightly we want your reflection on NASA's mission, how NASA is going to benefit mankind in its pursuit of living.
Now, again, it's a matter, we'll go back to knowledge. The boundaries of knowledge are unlimited. And my personal opinion is what we have at this time is tip of iceberg. Although it looks like we know a lot of things because there have been a lot of books written, there is a lot of literature, but the critical issues, critical answers have yet to be found.
Right.
For example, how did this universe start? Where is it going? How is it expanding? What is next to it? What is the end of the space? How did time come about? How did space come about? How did matter come? How did energy get here? And how did finally life get here? So NASA's pursuit has been in terms of trying to get answers to these bigger questions that pertain to Antariksh. Then, more or less, NASA has been given to understand that you got to relate some of your work to the human needs and the quality of life here on Earth. So NASA has developed a big component of its work to understanding how we can provide data, information. For example, on about the Earth, about the Sun, about Moon, about Mars, about space, for the benefit of humanity here. Because this changing environment, changing things need to be understood so that steps can be taken to counteract them. Now, on the other hand, NASA's work also was pioneering in doing communication satellites, global positioning. A lot of these things have become much more major. Earth observations. These are direct benefits of NASA for the humankind. Right. Because the data that you get is almost applicable every day in our daily lives. So, sir, I could go on, but the long and short of it is everything NASA does helps us here on the earth. Sir, if I may, Dr. Jahar, let me say this to you very cleanly and maybe even bluntly, that when you can sustain the life on Moon or take a mission to Mars and make people to live there for a little bit of time and bring them back, when you can sustain life in low Earth orbit or geostationary orbit, you are talking about an environment where it is impossible for a human being to live. There is no air, there is pressure. If you have a cabin which has air, it wants to go out. There is radiation. There is nuclear particles. There is temperature, huge environment of temperature. So there are no resources. Whatever resources you have is what you take with you.
Right.
There is nothing that you can grow on the Moon or Mars. That's where this research is coming from. So let me tell you why I'm telling you this. If you can sustain life, make life live in low Earth orbit or on Moon or on Mars, you're talking about that body of knowledge which can be directly applied here on the earth. Why? Because earth is a lot more easy to sustain. You go to Rajasthan in the desert. Yeah, you have atmosphere. You have so many things that you don't have on the moon and Mars. You can dig deeper. Perhaps you will get water in a desert. So what I am in conclusion saying, that all work of NASA or any other space agency, be it Russia, be it China, be it Japan, be it India, all these efforts have a meaningful and a must role for bringing the quality of life to higher standards here on earth. Sir, I can tell you, that I spend a whole lot of time in looking at what we call spin-offs. What comes from space, how does it get utilized in, for example, hospitals, for example, transportation, for example, in aerospace. All these issues made me to believe incredibly and openly that NASA's efforts of all these organizations dealing with space are meaningful and they are good for sustaining life on earth, and they are good for raising the quality of life.
Very nice, sir. Excellent. Sir, I saw a quote of Albert Einstein in one of your presentations, in which it states that imagination is more important than knowledge. But don't you think here a line of ethicality needs to be added or considered by scientists? Because human imagination using science, I feel, has perhaps caused more harm than good in recent years, especially by inventing many self-destructive items of mass destruction, be it atom bombs used in Hiroshima or Nagasaki, or be it lethal missiles used in ongoing wars in Israel, Syria, Ukraine, and many other countries. Not only that, we all have witnessed biggest massacre of mankind in the form of lab-made coronavirus, used as part of biological weapon, as part of biological warfare. And now they are working on war from space. So God knows where we are heading to. So here I feel glad at least that Madame Curie talked of spirituality in her science. So the bottom line here is the planet is becoming unlivable day by day. We feel science and scientists should take a pause and find some quality time to contemplate over how mankind can be served righteously. So my question here is, why righteousness is missing in science, and where lies the solution of ongoing humanitarian crisis worldwide from scientific perspective, sir? So over to you.
I think my answer hopefully will be accepted. But my answer is, science is not doing anything to kill humans. Science is not doing anything to make the quality of life go down. In my way of thinking, science is trying to give tools to humanity to live longer, to live better.
Right.
However, the way people are using science is a problem.
Right.
That is a big problem. That you can use knife to cut vegetables. And we have seen in the recent past, you can use also the same knife to cut the throat of a human being. Now, how can we blame a person who gave us the knife? We can't. We shouldn't. We shouldn't blame scientists for giving us science. We should blame the people who are misusing it, abusing it, causing atangwad, terrorism, making humans degraded, depleted. However, sir, I think, in long and short way, I think Kama, Krodha, Tatha, Lobha, these three big pillars of evil should be blamed.
Right.
And the human beings who are using science in a wrong way should be blamed.
Right.
You are taking atom bomb, same energy. Countries like India, many countries cannot do without atomic energy. Atomic power is so critically needed for our needs. And so are many other things based on atomic reactions, right? Such as atomic clocks and so on and so forth. But my point to you is, so who do you want to be disciplined? Scientists or the people who are applying this science in the worst way possible to annihilate humans, to do harm to humans? I think we have a lack of character. And it's not politicians, it's general human beings like you, me, everybody that should be blamed, because these are not separate people. We are all together, the politicians, the scientists, the normal people. I think the overall quality of, I would say, consciousness has gone down. And it has gone down not because of scientists. No. It has gone down because of the human values have gone down. We do not value honesty. We do not value truthfulness. In Bharatvarsha, remember, Satyam Eva Jayate. We were so proud of being the most truthful people on the earth. Is that a fact today? Is it? So I'm asking myself, please use science for solving problems, not for creating problems.
Right, right. Very nice, very thoughtful of you, sir. And because you have very briefly said that, because that is the crux of the whole answer, and that is you have said that human values have gone down. So, yeah, that is something which we all need to introspect and retrospect. Very nice. So that will take us to our next question. Sir, as you have played a pivotal role in promoting advanced and emerging disciplines in aeronautics, from that perspective, I, as well as many of our viewers, would like to know the future prospect of aeronautics and space-related programs from career and employment perspectives. Because not only in science, but in all other disciplines, today we are not sure what does the future hold for us. Because the career flights that our students are taking today will not necessarily land them at the right airport, 5 or 10 years down the line. So this remains a big question. So what would you like to say or counsel our budding aeronautic engineers and aspiring space scientists in terms of future readiness?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful question. Very timely question. Aeronautics and space both are related in terms of propulsion, power, all these different types of technologies. But first point I like to mention to you is what we do for space, what we do for aeronautics is related to the industries on this earth. In other words, the products that are generated by people are used in aeronautics and aerospace. Now, that's one point I like to make. In other words, when you are pushing technology to go to moon or Mars or to go to low Earth orbit with huge number of satellites, maybe thousands of them, 50,000, who knows? Geostationary, low Earth orbit, high, upper Earth orbit, whatever. So you're pushing that technology, but where are you making these systems? You are making here on the earth. So the industries will be boosted. Employment will be boosted. We saw that during the Apollo. When Apollo program came up, a huge number of employees got jobs. A huge number of people got jobs because these were jobs not existing even before Apollo came into existence. So I like to make that one point clear, that everything we do in space and aeronautics is done mostly on the earth. Maybe we'll do in the future assembly and so on and so forth. We might do some little bit of manufacturing on the moon or Mars. That's to be determined, TBD, to be determined. However, let me go back to one critical point. To me, space is the next frontier. We have simply established ourselves some paths. For example, rocketry to go to the low Earth orbit. Still missing to have rockets that are efficient, cost-effective to go to Mars, for example, that are efficient and cost-effective to go many, many times to the moon and come back. These things are coming back. And sir, I think and I pray that all these wars that are going on right now, and we don't have a lack of wars at all right now. We have almost like half a dozen wars going on different fronts, and people, gearing up to have more wars. But I'm praying and hoping that within the next few years, like 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, something like that, all this will subside, because we are causing a lot of harm to humanity. People are seeing it. People are jittery. The only people perhaps are not getting the punch of it are the leaders, and the providers of the technology systems that go in wars, because they are drunk with the fact that they are getting revenues, and the leaders are drunk with the fact that they want to win land, win this, win that. But after that subsides, so you will see space will be the next frontier. We will need a lot of data about Prithvi, because we are living here, we are polluting, we are doing a lot of activities. Global warming is just a mini school. Then I brought this thing up with you, that Earth is a changing planet. All this will mean more and more data. We want to know what's happening on the sun. NASA did that a long time back and is doing both behind the sun and in front of sun. Now you have Aditya from India watching the sun, because sun is the source of everything on the earth. We lost the sun, we lost everything, right? So we are talking about huge space enterprise and tourism. People are curious. I want to go in low Earth orbit. Feel like I have no weight. I want to go to the moon. Stay there for a little while. Come back. It's such a different vacation, right?
Right.
So I'm so happy you asked this question.
No, we are really happy that the future of aeronautics will remain bright, and we should remain optimistic. Thank you. So finally, I would like to request you to kindly give a message of peace that could help us create a better species of human with better sense of harmony and coexistence. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. It's probably the deepest question ever. It's as deep as the Antariksha itself, from end to end. It's a very deep question. But I think I'm going to put it in negative terms first and then come to the positive terms. If we continue with the present posture of wars, animosity, and piling of weapons after weapons, be it missiles, be it nuclear weapons, be it aircraft that fly at the speed of sound, whatever it is, that whole enterprise of destruction is going to be can put to the end of humanity as we know it now. So everybody knows that. the leaders are much more smarter in each and every country. They know that the present posture of humanity, particularly in the last 5 to 10 years, will not sustain humanity in a meaningful way. So now, there is a challenge for the scientists. We have all this weaponry. Can we transform it scientifically and technologically in such a way that now the same weaponry could be used for peaceful purposes, for bringing food, shelter, clothing, peace of mind, betterment to lives that don't have all these things available right now. What I'm talking about, we have about 8 billion people, Dr. Chaha, living right now. We have probably, I'm guessing, 10 to 15% that do not have the resources. What if we take all this war machinery of the nations and challenge the technologists and scientists to remodel, reshape these weaponry in such a way that they become friends of our betterment of life, not enemies and not destructive weapons. That itself to me is a great challenge. So I think you are seeing where I'm going with this is I'm saying all this investment of military technology, know-how, protocols can be translated, turned around 180 degrees, and we can have a great quality of life here on the earth.
Excellent.
That is my peace message.
सर, आज आप हमसे जुड़े उसके लिए आपका विशेष धन्यवाद और आपके सराहनीय साइंटिफिक अचीवमेंट्स के लिए लाइफ एक्सप्रेस की जूरी ने आपके लिए एक अवार्ड की घोषणा की है और वो अवार्ड है लाइफ एक्सप्रेस आइकन ऑफ इंडिया अवार्ड, जिसे आप हिंदी में लाइफ एक्सप्रेस प्रतिष्ठित भारतीय सम्मान कह सकते हैं। और इस अवार्ड को सहर्ष स्वीकार करने के लिए मैं अपने समस्त टीम और समस्त दर्शकों की ओर से आपको बहुत बहुत बधाई देना चाहता हूं और अपना आभार भी व्यक्त करता हूं। एंड थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर कनेक्टिंग विद अस। गॉड विलिंग वी शैल कनेक्ट विद यू अगेन सर।
धन्यवाद, धन्यवाद, थैंक यू, धन्यवाद, धन्यवाद। सबको मेरा धन्यवाद, सबको मेरा प्यार, जो भी ये देख रहे हैं। थैंक यू।
LXP Icon of India Award is proudly presented to Dr. Kumar Krishen for his exemplary contributions to World Science Fraternity on 30th November 2024.
नमस्कार दोस्तों, हमेशा की तरह आज के IKS सेगमेंट में सबसे पहले हम एक ह्यूमन वैल्यू सीखेंगे और उसके बाद हम एक भारत के पारंपरिक मान्यता या ट्रेडिशनल बिलीफ के वैज्ञानिक कारण को भी समझेंगे। लेकिन पहले हम बात करेंगे ह्यूमन वैल्यू की। पिछला ह्यूमन वैल्यू जो हमने हिंदी अल्फ़ाबेट के जरिए सीखा था वो था ढ से ढाढ़स, और जिस मानव मूल्य को आज हम सीखने जा रहे हैं वो है त से तार्किकता, जो तर्क और तार्किक से बना है। तर्क का अर्थ है किसी चीज़ को जानने और समझाने के लिए आपके द्वारा किया गया प्रयास, जिसमें हम उस चीज़ के गुण दोष, लाभ हानि आदि का एक व्यवस्थित विश्लेषण करते हैं। यदि हम अपने अंदर तार्किकता ना रखें तो हमारी दुनिया आगे नहीं बढ़ सकती, हम पीछे ही चलते चले जाएंगे और उसके परिणाम स्वरूप ना तो आपका विकास होगा, ना ही समाज का और ना ही विश्व का। तार्किकता के अभाव में हम कट्टरता की ओर बढ़ने लगते हैं और धर्मांध बन जाते हैं, और कई बार तो लोग आतंकवाद के राह पर भी चल पड़ते हैं। इसलिए आज हमें तार्किक होने की आवश्यकता है, और जो भी हम सीखें या सिखाएं उसे तथ्य के साथ, प्रमाण के साथ, या सबूत के साथ, या उचित उदाहरण के साथ बात करें। लेकिन एक बात का ध्यान रहे कि जब भी हम कोई विचार का ढांचा बनाते हैं वो तार्किक रूप से तर्कसंगत हो और उस विचार से किसी का नुकसान ना हो। तो अब हम आगे बढ़ते हैं अपनी एक पारंपरिक मान्यता के वैज्ञानिक कारण की ओर, और इसके अंतर्गत आज हम समझेंगे मंदिरों में शंख व घंटा बजाने का विज्ञान अकॉर्डिंग टू केवी सिंह। यह एक वैज्ञानिक तथ्य है कि ध्वनि विस्तार में सूर्य की किरणें बाधक होती हैं। इसी कारण रेडियो प्रसारण दिन की अपेक्षा रात को अधिक स्पष्ट होता है। प्रायः सायंकाल व सूर्य किरणें जब निस्तेज होती हैं तब शंख फूंकने व घंटा घड़ियाल बजाने का विधान है। एक बार शंख फूंकने पर जहां तक उसकी ध्वनि जाती है वहां तक बीमारियां या बीमारियों के कीटाणु जो वातावरण में विद्यमान होते हैं निष्क्रिय हो जाते हैं। इसी प्रकार की ध्वनि के प्रभाव से वे कीटाणु या तो नष्ट हो जाते हैं या फिर निष्क्रिय। जाने माने वैज्ञानिक श्री जगदीश चंद्र बसु ने इस सत्य को यंत्रों द्वारा प्रमाणित किया था। नियमित शंख व घड़ियाल की ध्वनि वायुमंडल को विशुद्ध बनाने व पर्यावरण को संतुलित करने में अत्यंत सहायक होती है। इस वैज्ञानिक सत्य की खोज हजारों वर्ष पूर्व हमारे ऋषि मुनियों ने की थी। शंख और घंटे घड़ियाल की ध्वनि से स्थूल पदार्थों में से भी उनकी नकारात्मकता या नेगेटिविटी नष्ट हो जाती है। यही कारण है कि मंदिरों की दीवारें भी शांति प्रदान करती हैं। इसके अतिरिक्त मूकता और हकलापन दूर करने के लिए शंख ध्वनि श्रवण करना एक महा औषधि है। निरंतर शंख फूंकने वाले व्यक्ति को श्वास की बीमारी, दमा एवं फेफड़ों का रोग नहीं होता, क्योंकि शंख फूंकने से फेफड़ों से शरीर की सारी दूषित वायु बाहर निकल जाती है और साथ ही उनकी वायु धारण क्षमता भी बढ़ती है। आपने देखा होगा कि प्रायः मंदिरों आदि में आरती के पश्चात शंख में जल भरकर उपस्थित जनों पर उसे छिड़का जाता है। इसी प्रकार शंख के जल से देवालय में रखी समस्त पूजा सामग्री का प्रक्षालन करते हैं। ऐसा करने से वे सब वस्तुएं सुवासित एवं रोगाणु रहित होकर शुद्ध हो जाती हैं। शंख में जल रखने से उस जल में रोगाणुओं को नष्ट करने की क्षमता आ जाती है, क्योंकि शंख में गंधक, फास्फोरस और कैल्शियम की मात्रा होती है। इस कारण शंख में रखा जल विसंक्रामक या डिसइंफेक्ट हो जाता है। आज के सत्र की समाप्ति मैं फिर एक आह्वान के साथ करूंगा, खासकर डॉक्टर कृष्ण की बातचीत से निकले कुछ मुख्य अंश को लेकर। सबसे पहली बात तो हमें ये समझना होगा कि साइंस कंस्ट्रक्टिव या सृजनात्मक चीज़ों के लिए होती है और होनी भी चाहिए, लेकिन कई बार जब हम अपने निहित स्वार्थ के चलते साइंस का गलत इस्तेमाल करने लगते हैं या उससे खिलवाड़ करने लगते हैं तो वहाँ साइंस विध्वंसक हो जाता है। लेकिन वहाँ हम साइंस को दोष ना दें, बल्कि अपनी उस उच्छृंखल या उपद्रवी या पागल मस्तिष्क को दोष दें जो आपको सही गलत का फैसला लेने के लिए तैयार नहीं कर पाया। और ऐसे नियम विरुद्ध विचार के लिए आप ही नहीं बल्कि आपके माता पिता, आपका परिवार, आपका समाज सब दोषी है जो आपको सही संस्कार नहीं दे पाया। दूसरी बात ये कि हमें साइंस और ह्यूमैनिटीज़ के बीच एक गहरा संबंध स्थापित करना होगा, क्योंकि साइंस विदाउट ह्यूमैनिटीज विल जस्ट बी अ डिजास्टर. टुगेदर they help us understand what it means to be human and connect us with our global community. तो मिलते हैं अगले एपिसोड में. Till then, enjoy your time meaningfully. और हाँ, अपना और अपनों का भी ख्याल रखें. जय हिंद.